Hello everyone, welcome to the stream. Hit up that like button. Be sure to subscribe to the channel as well. It'll be greatly appreciated. Probably different, if you're on here, probably someone different you haven't seen before on the channel. Or if you're like a very OG member, then you've probably seen or heard from myself from a long time ago. It sounds a bit low. Is it? Is that better? Yeah, probably haven't heard about me in a while. But essentially, I'm one of the coaches at Toros, called Luxury Again. Just gonna go over like my thought process when trading. Not just that, but a lot more of the technical approach that I take to things. The kind of I don't even care what I'm saying, no bullshit attitude you want to be taking. When trading, the mindset you want to have. Not only that, but also like how I'm actually trading, because there's been some amazing. Obviously, this hasn't been the easiest to trade. I'll be honest. I took one trade today, and that's about it. But regardless of that, you want to have this mentality, because I see a lot of people, come and go within this. The mentality of treating this like a game, or well, you can treat it like a game, but more so along the lines of treating this very seriously. I see a lot of people treat this as a joke, like trading as a joke. We're going to the moon, etc. But I'm purely here to make money. That really is my aspect of things. I don't really care about the community's thoughts or feelings occasionally, but primarily I'm in this to primarily make money. At the end of the day, I use Discord as a tool to just communicate across some thought process I might have with a few people, about maybe trades I'm taking, but trading is my job and that's where I want to make money from. So that's what all I'm doing, is trying to extract as much data as I can out of the market. So yeah, obviously Bitcoin, let's cover this quickly, and I'll discuss, what I'm expecting next, come over to more aspects, get questions in the chat, etc. So let's get into it. So obviously, why the title is, BTC Trading, hard truths and all that stuff, is I'll go over that in a second, but the thumbnail is discussing ranges, and that's what we're in within Bitcoin at the moment. And I think a lot of people are going to be like maybe getting euphoric, overly hyped up. God, I have to sneeze. Overly hyped up, etc. At the highs and lows of the range. So let's open this up fully. And by the way, if anyone's interested, I'm actually using the tool called ExoCharts. Okay. So yeah, that's quite. I mean, hit that. There's 54 people in here. None of it is 16 likes. So let's see if we can get up to 30 right now, and I might do a giveaway or something. So it's like, yeah, we're within a range. There's no need to get euphoric or anything along those lines, right? At the highs or lows. And why I'm saying within a range is because and again, maybe it's because of my experience within this market, but I recognize that we're really finding fair value here. I say fair value, I mean, we're not in the middle of any inefficiencies. Like, simply the thought process being, right, that between this high here, which you made on the first rally up, right, in my opinion, down towards these local lows, is that this is where there's actual volume portrayed within Bitcoin's prices, okay? And anywhere outside of this, you could expect a bigger move. That's where the bigger move will potentially come into play. So it's like, basically my thought process is that if, and the reason I'm saying this high here is because anywhere above this high, right, you can see the one time frame on the candle down, you're just going to shoot back up. But I discuss this in more detail as to how we can potentially predict where our initial high is going to come in and where our initial low. The initial lows are a bit harder in this scenario to foresee, right? But essentially, the thought process being that whilst you remain between this high and this low, you could definitely find fair value, or you're within the fair value of price, in my opinion. If you come out here and you see some form of failed auction, potentially you can look for the lows again in the range. And that's why I'm making this channel from this high down to this low. The low in the beginning, I would say, is a bit harder to identify. I had the channel down here, but now since we've actually seen a low volume over the weekend form, you didn't break out over the weekend, which is quite rare to see. We're really within these two levels. That's why I've put it as that, because, and this is, by the way, the 30-minute time frame on Bitcoin. So it's like my thought process is I'm not getting overly bullish because we've moved up over the last few hours or whatever all day. Today's been very, very sideways. If anything, slightly moved up. I'm not getting bullish because we're up here, or bearish because we're down here, because whilst we remain within the constraints of these two lines here, this is where my mind is thinking, we can just easily just rotate back up and down. If we actually look over, there is one key level of interest for myself, and that is actually at this 21,900 level. So 21,900, you can mark this on your charts really. Whilst you're really, this is your level of interest, in my opinion. Like, if Bitcoin moves higher, there's literally two levels to be aware of, and I don't even mind telling you lot. It's literally 21,900 and the upper 22,100 level. Like, these two levels here, like, have your alert set here and here. Those are the only two you want to be focusing on, in my opinion, to the upside. You get a potential trade here, could rotate back down to the lows again. You could also like reject here and come back down to the lows again. It's literally just, tracking market structure, high lows. And if you want to know about like market structure in like way more detail, I obviously discussed that within the crew. But like, I don't mind going into more detail because it's my first stream, and like my mentality, because if anyone wants to know my history, I've actually only been trading, I think it's actually been, it's been a little long now. It's been like 3.5 years almost, not so long. And it's like, I haven't been in this long, and I'm only doing this because I'm not a Bitcoin maximalist, or I don't understand any fundamentals. Like, I'm not for Bitcoin for the future. Like, I don't really care if it takes over the world or not, because if this thing goes, I'll just simply move on to trade another asset. I'm literally here just to make money off technical analysis. That's all I know. Like, in simple terms, like, I know everyone knows about FOMC, etc., and PMI, DMI, CPI. I have no idea what that is. I mean, I guess maybe one aspect because I was never taught it when I was at school, and I'm not that old. And it's like, yeah, the only thing I know is the charts, and I guess that gives me the advantage because I have no underlying bias of the fundamentals or news or any of that stuff. That's really my outlook on things. That's the way I found the best success, because when I did start, I did fail. Maybe like some of you did, I don't know. Maybe some of you like just really profitable, but I failed, and I think, to get out of that, you have to understand like a lot of different things, like not only with the charts itself, but with your mind and the way you treat this, rather than like treating it as a game. Oh my god, I'm making money today, and then like tomorrow being like a massive down day and it being like a roller coaster. You don't want to have a roller coaster. You want it just to be consistently making money day in, day out. That is what you want to be doing day in, day out, just actively making money on the charts, profits every single day, rather than just like up and down. So yeah, I'll talk about that more in detail and how to do that. We trade in the hundreds. Yeah, I would, because the technical analysis on Bitcoin is like extremely well respected. Today I subscribe to ExoCharts. Can you describe what tools? Yeah, I'll talk about the tools in a bit. Someone's asked, how do I come about 21,900? So for anyone interested, if you're on YouTube, you probably don't know about this yet. Maybe you do, maybe you don't. Let's go to this template here. Okay, and this template here is my sessions, my volatility sessions mini templates, because what this is basically, I did a video in the crew. So if you don't know about that, just join the crew and you can just see it there if you wish. But how I gathered my stats, really, in order to basically gathered stats, put it into a spreadsheet, broke it down into an aspect in a video where people can understand like how I'm getting sessions from it. I took volume stats and really made it into into sessions, and that's what you did here. And these are like the most accurate, because these are actually coming from 2022. They're not prior data. Of course it can be, because if you look at prior data, previous years is something to go off of, but 2022 up to date, the most current volume, and again I can update these, but these are really really good. So you've got mini and Asia, Thai, London, New York. These and mini is my favorite new one, and this is something I discuss with the team on how I actually use this on a day-to-day basis. Really really simply, the pointed controls of these like coming into use every single day. Like I think it was yesterday, literally 3 trades alone off of like these pointer controls. The first one at the highs here, you can see gray ray pointer control tapped here, rejection all the way down to the bottom one, which we saw, I think this was yesterday, right? Yesterday morning, to the, again down there for support, and then up again to this MPOC again, bounce up, and then another rejection down. It's like providing plenty of trades, in my opinion. And it's like even one this morning, you had one up here, this one here, which provided this like kind of mini rejection. But today's been kind of a slow day, in my opinion. So like my best thought process here would be like, let's just merge these back a little bit. And like the local point of control to be over is 21,385. I actually mentioned this within a crew call. I don't want to go over too much detail, but 21,385 is a big level of interest. Not just on the lower time frame, but the higher time frame as well. You want to remain above this level, and I guess whilst you remain above this level, and whilst the ES and the Nasdaq isn't breaking down sufficiently, you can expect prices to perceive high, as well as the market structure remaining bullish. There's no need to really think that we're going to be heading lower just yet. Obviously, once this is now lost, then we can perceive lower prices. If we head lower, the first level of interest for myself would be this lower single print, 21,245. Losing that, the first level of interest would have to be this point of control at $21,000. But overall, I'd expect the lows to be taken, okay, if you don't bounce there. Can you get this? Yeah, you can get Exo Desktop on Mac. You can actually. If you want templates to work upon that are free, I'm going to give you just both because like open and honest here. If you want some of these exact templates, then you can obviously just go over to Taurus Crypto, join that, right? But if you want some free templates, then my recommendation would be to go over to the ExoCharts Discord, right? I can put it in the chat if you want. Our Discord's already in the description below. Join that, and then like if you wish to join the ExoCharts Discord here, right? Let's Control V. Right, just join that, and you can actually get some free templates. There's like a template section. There's a few templates to work with there. Not these ones that I'm working on exactly because they're not in there, but some other ones. So this you can see here, this 21,385 level. Not only is this like the more local POC, but if you look here on the composite profile on the right, you see this yellow line here. This yellow line on the left hand side. This is showing me, if I extend this out, this is like a bigger, higher time frame point of control, I believe. Let's have a look. If we go over to the CPR, which is our composite profile, right, it's 2 days worth of volume, like developing day and yesterday. So the last 2 days point of control. Yeah, so it's a big level, and that's what I'm thinking. Like in terms of probabilities, whilst we remain above this 21,385, we can expect higher. Okay, what we can do is now look at this. Let's have a look. We obviously had that move up this morning, which was off of a short squeeze. So you took previous day's low by like just the wick, skin of its teeth, with like the value area right towards the bottom, which is almost perfect. What you want to see. A few trap traders down there. Also, you can see there with open interest increasing and any form of negative delta. You then like obviously reverse that. New longs open to start driving the move, and then the rest of it is really like open interest decreasing, short squeeze up. Before you do see again more aggressive shorts opening, it seemed here. So like it wouldn't be under my out of the realm was to really think we're going to still be heading up and trapping more shorts and squeezing them. So like any further move up, I would really expect a potential short squeeze to continue occurring. And it's at the point where you don't see a short squeeze occur, where you see people actively longing, is where my eyes start to light up, and I'm like, okay, at what point are these longs underwater? At what point can we trap them? At what point do I then want to enter a trade? That is really what's going through my head at the moment. Yeah. You hate seeing what I've done, Ollie. That is a little bit of a tip to that. I guess is a bit off topic. I don't really like coming off topic because I guess it's not off topic, but you know, if you're not a computer, I got a MacBook Pro, the 14-inch. That's quite, the Exo desktop runs like amazing on that, to be honest. So I would personally recommend that, or a Lenovo Legion, one of those two. So yeah. Um, so yeah, Bitcoin, yeah, whilst remain above X said levels 21,385, I'd expect higher. The MacBook Pro, yeah, I got the 20. It's the new one, so it's got like the 14-inch display. Um, it's like the M1 Pro, that one. You know, whilst remain above the levels, we can expect higher. And I'm just thinking to myself here, like, you have to be really harsh on yourself in this business. I'm just being honest, because I actually failed. I failed trading in the beginning. Like, it's not, you know, no people can, but it's quite hard to pick it up. God, I'm losing my throat. This is bad. This is really bad. Bear with me, everyone. You know, so really, really, what was I saying? Yeah, you have to treat this as a business, like, and just that alone, because in my opinion, at the end of the day, you're not, like, it's going to sound harsh, but at the end of the day, if you don't treat it like a business, you're not going to get anywhere. Like, you're not going to get anywhere at all. You know, if you treat this like, I want to make money on the side, no. You need to treat this like you're going to make money full time. This is it. Because otherwise, if you try and act like you're going to make money part time off of this, it's going to be an afterthought. It's going to be a side thought. You're going to be like, oh, it's okay, it's just side. You're going to end up losing money rather than making money. And that's the whole, defeats the purpose of doing this. Of course, I have a massive passion for this. I have a massive passion for trading the charts. You know, I do very much enjoy it. But the sole purpose of doing this is to make money. I'm not doing it. What's the word? Yeah, I'm not doing it just because I have a passion for it. Of course, I love doing it, but alongside it, the money aspect is a massive factor. You know, like, if this didn't bring money or didn't have the money aspect to it, I wouldn't do it like that. I would have it as like a side hobby, you know, not even that. Like, the sole purpose is to make money, like, end of, end of. Um, and that's the truth. And, you know, I think a lot of people have this persona of trading, right? That you've got to be using 100 different indicators, 100 different things here and there. And I know it might look like on my chart that I've got a lot of things down, but I really do try and simplify my trading a lot. You know, from what it was, you know, not even from what it was, you know, like using 500 different indicators, literally looking for the new shiniest thing. I sound weird. I mean, it's not, for anyone joining now, it's actually not Luke in the stream. It's Luxury, so it's completely different. Another coach in Taurus, and it's like, yeah, the thought process of like, we have to treat it like that. What was I saying? Oh, sure. Yeah, it's not Luke. It's not Luke. I'm usually actually over on the Twitch page most of the time. Most of you lot, if you're from Twitch, you know exactly who I am. And like, really simply, there's no need to like have all these complex indicators, in my opinion, on my thing. You can obviously see like all these different things, and you're like, oh god, I have no idea. But if I broke it down to you in like extremely simple terms, then it's really, really, it's not that complex. I'm not going over the limits, you know. There's no point trying to look for the new shiny thing, because most of the time it won't work. If you've got something that works, stick to it. You know, I'm not going to be going and chasing the new thing just because it's new, or, you know, not using something because someone else is using it. Like, are you out of your, in simple terms, are you out of your fucking mind? Like, there's people that actually do this. Like, you must be out of your fucking mind, because just because someone else uses it, you're not going to use it, and it works. Like, you're not going to make money to have an ego. Like, really, that is the thought process you're going with. Like, let me think. Like, my ex-girlfriend could have made something, and I'm not going to use it because she made it, because it makes her money. I'm like, are you out of your mind? I'm gonna take it and use it. You know, I have to take it and use it. That's the thought process. I just want a lot of people to have that theory that, you know, dumb it down, a lot. And what can I say? Like, take the don't overcomplicate it, I guess. And if you want to know about that stuff more, about the in depth of it, then I guess you can look over at the Discord, etc. It's in the chat. Someone's asking, yeah, you use 10 indicators on trading and still lose. I mean, look, I'm not saying indicators are rubbish, but like, let's just have a look. You can look at like where is it? Community scripts. Let's just look at RSI. Like, I've never used this before. Like, look, you can see it's probably still basic. Like, I've never used it. This doesn't. For me, look, I'm not saying it's like the incorrect way of trading. Yeah. Hold on, sorry, just got a message on my phone. Yeah, like, I'm not saying it's not going to work, because it obviously can work. Everyone's got a different style of trading. I just think, people need to simplify it down. And from my experience of teaching a lot of people from one-to-ones, you know, a longer term people, mentoring people, right? You know, the misconception a lot of people have is that you must have like 100 different things on your screen. That's not what I'm doing. Really, really simply. Like, really, really simply, like, just cut it out. In my opinion, literally focus on literally. I can give you the basics to focus on, like, now, right? Market structure, CVD, open interest, and delta. Those four things, and you're set. Obviously, throw in a bit of liquidity, but it's really the basics of it. So that's what I would say there. There's no need to have like 1,000 different things on the screen. What about moon cycles? I mean, I don't use them. I'm much more Fibonacci time, bit of Elliott waves and hedging and accumulation patterns, market correlations, order flows, like my go-to. Like, if we look here, you can really just decipher what's going to happen just through looking at this and this. This template alone is the only one I'd keep. Actually, more so this one if I'm scalp trading. Right, let's have a look. So there's actually no divergences here, like no bearish divergences. Maybe on the USDT pair there is, but I'm not really watching that. If anything, you're probably like continuously just building up bullish divergences on this one. I mean, like, here you did, because you've got this low here. So someone was asking how to use CVD and open interest. CVD, in simple terms, there's a video on CVD on the YouTube channel right here. So, like, be sure to check that out. But it's like, you've got your low here on CVD, low, higher low, low, lower low. So in simple terms, right, you've got more people aggressively selling here than you do here, but price is making a higher low. So, like, the thought process to this is, like, just view the CVD line as aggressive market buyers and sellers. Like, look how much aggressive selling you've got here compared to here. Is much higher aggressive selling coming here because it's come deeper, but price has made a higher low. Someone is sitting there with limit orders absorbing this. Now, the thought process about this, and I'm discussing this with a fellow trader this morning, it just, I don't want to talk about the order book. Well, I'll talk about that later. But essentially, this is like really all you need, because this is like, everyone wants to know like the order book, trend rev, that type of thing. But for example, the order book and the trend rev, in my opinion, the trend rev is a bit easier because you look at the exact same things that you look at here, just on like a minute time frame. The order book is, if you understand the whole concept of it, you must understand it through and through to be able to trade from it, and that takes a while. MS, market structure, CVD, OI, delta, those three things, and you're set. OBV, a bit of liquidity basics. Yes, that's the word. That's the way, Farhan. I mean, not OBV. I mean, I don't know if you meant obviously or OBV. Oh, of a bit of yeah, liquidity. Yeah, exactly. Um, what's harder, graduating high school or has to read an order book? I never went to high school. So yeah, no, I just got your message, Pete, on it. Um, so yeah, I really do think, the way, in my opinion, to be trading, you must have like this no bullshit attitude towards it. Um, you know, I really do, because I think, like, look at this, right? Let me just tell you something. Let me find it. Like, you can call to the bottom dollar moves, not to the bottom dollar, but you can make like really high probable trades based off of just market structure. I'm going to give you an example, right? I've never really done this on a on one of those streams. Let me make sure it was the right one. It's not this one, was it? God, bear with me. I can't even remember when I flipping found it now. Well, this is embarrassing. Essentially, what you want to be looking for, in simple terms, you can I mean, I talked about it on the ES, but you can discuss it here really simply. So prices come up, like, in simple, just track market structure. Like, honestly, market structure is like the basics. Well, low, whoops, low, high, high, low, high, 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 low, high, 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 low, high, high. Potential high, low again here. This is still a high, low. You could still expect higher. Price has now changed. So like, this is at that point in time. Okay. Look at this. So price, right? This is the way you have your key level. And at that time, it was the NPOC on the session. So 21623. So 21623 is your key level, right? This is what I do. Rinse and repeat. Whoops. Oh, God. Rinse and repeat every day. Almost every day. So let's put this as your low. Let's put this as your key. And let's break it down quickly. This is what I do to some extent in my live trade examples, where you've got your key level here, 21623. I'm associating that key level, by the way, with this volume point of control. You can see here on this left hand side template, 21623. So I'm getting my levels from this, right? So I've got my level marked out, right? 21623. Now, what happens when we approach that level, right? This is what you need to be asking yourself. And I'm going to just, don't really do this, but price is building up, coming up to a level for the first time. High, low, high, 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 low, high, 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 low, high, high. This is the low I'm talking about here. Makes a high, another high, low potentially. This could have still shot up. Okay, that's why I didn't enter, you don't enter a short trade, really coming into this, because it could still just shot up. But the second you then see, okay, wait, lower high, lower low. This is now lost with sufficient candle closes below. What you then want to do is literally short the retrace. High to low, right? Well, in this sense, this is too perfect. I'm going to be honest with you, and this was crucial. We don't get these perfect scenarios every time. Like, it's actually quite rare, and I talk you through how to actually avoid that. But essentially, you come into the golden pocket. Quite occasionally, I'm actually shorting the 382. But in this case, you came into the golden pocket. Look for your confluences of this, like even the mini range at the top here. You had a bit of volume coming in here, but look at point of controls on the lower time frame of like these specific candles. Come into it on the golden pocket, retrace, and then you come and retrace the move. It's literally just trading market structure. You're just trading with the trend. You're waiting for a confirmation. You'll see countless YouTubers out there timing the dollar high, dollar low. In my opinion, the only way you can do that is off of the order book, right? And secondly, like, showing people that that you're shorting the high and longing the dollar low. It's very unrealistic. It is very unrealistic. Well, I say it's unrealistic. It's unrealistic to expect to do that on a continuous basis, right? In my opinion, the way I trade is much more that I find effective is off of like confirmation of market structure changes, like you do here. Like you're still shorting like relatively high up, like 21,623, right? Look at this. So you short right around here. Even if you short the 382, look at the drop you get off that. Like you're getting a really decent risk to reward, right? It's really, really crucial that like you don't have to short and long every dollar high. The only time where I'll actually long like a low like perfectly or a high perfectly is like you'll see maybe an SFP trade that gives you a very clear trigger entry, yeah, in my opinion, rather than like anticipating every single high and low. Really, really crucial. So quite a lot of talking, I apologize. Yes, I mean there's quite a few people in here, but so yeah, obviously that's like the key to everything, like in my opinion, market structure. And like it would have helped, like let's actually go over this. I don't know if we did. So 21, so 23, I don't think we did, because this is the one we were just tracking earlier up here. 2163, we didn't have any bearish CVD, and this is what you want to be tracking. Like as you can see here, there was actually no bearish CVD. If anything, like the lower highs are basically working very much well in tandem with the CVD. So there's like no divergence here. This is not going to trigger, you know, anything really to the eyes of a trader, in my opinion, yet. But for example, if you saw bearish CVD up here and then you saw the market structure change, it adds to that, you know, let's look for a trade. And it's literally this here. So low, double bottom here, change the formation, low, high, boom. Like, you know, look at this. High. This is a default fib. I don't like this one. This is the one you want to look. You can see come to that golden pocket and then you get the retrace off it, like perfectly down, all the way down. And where do you bounce off? I'm not, you know, you're not surprised really at that point. That New York point of control bounce. You know, so I'm hoping that makes sense. I don't really go into this much detail within streams, but you know, it's my first appearance on the YouTube, so like, why not? And I think that's really crucial. I mean, look at this, by the way. Look at this, right? The same theory that I'm providing to you on the higher time frame or higher time frame is applying to on the lower one. Like in my opinion, look at this, right? So you have your low, initial low, you have this SFP of the first, so this is decent, that's a decent trade. The second one here, look at this, so you've got like these really, really ugly lows, like these lows are super ugly. You then SFP the trade, well not SFP, but like you kind of come into the inefficiencies and reclaim. And it's like the scenario where if you see any form of acceptance into these inefficiencies, you're most likely going to fill it and come back down to 21,380, but you didn't, right? And you literally SFP deviate, and this would have been like a warranted potential entry for yourself, right? You would have just continued to long it into the value area high. So it's like, that's the way I would have done it. But it's really crucial to understand, like, why wouldn't I long the absolute dollar low of this move? Because I cannot predict, unless in real time I'm market longing and pushing the market in one certain direction myself. Then it's like, you know, I cannot basically decipher whether it's going to move back up or not. I have to actually wait and see if it's going to do it and then enter. Meaning I'm not going to get the perfect dollar low entry. I have to wait and see whether it's going to move back up or not. And it did in the end. You know, 3 minute probably on this one looks a lot better. I'm like, look at this. Yeah. Really, really perfect candle. And like you target the highs in my opinion. And then obviously you can use like your fibs as like confluence. So like, did you have any confluence on the fibs here? Even from this low, 0.5. Where's the VWAP at? Not there. I'm not really a big advocate of VWAP, and I know Luke is, of course. It works quite well most of the time. Just for myself, I've got my own thing against that. But you see what I mean? I mean, like, inefficiencies are like my favorite thing to trade. I think I know this because, like, look at this. Yeah, like, look at this on the 3 minute. You see this, like, really one time framing, one candle down, one candle down, like straight red. I'm seeing straight blood. The second this candle here, like, I'm looking at this, my eyes are thinking like this. Boom. You see this SFP here, right? This could have been a potential short trade. You know, you want to see that, of course, you've come down quite a bit. I don't know if I had short here, but this is like typically you want to see potentially look for a short, but any form of acceptance. Once you've seen this candle close within the inefficiency region, at least this whole inefficiency region, I knew it was getting filled. I knew it was getting filled. Like straight away, you're thinking, okay, this is coming up at least to this 3 minute order block here, so a percent rise. Even this like one here, this like SR level, and it's like it come up to it straight away, and like it continued pushing up like really quick. So it's like, again, a bit of information for you there, or I don't know if that's of any use, but. And then like since then on, you like just form this range. So let's like take our fixed range pool for this whole thing, and like we're just above that value area high, just point of control, still at that level. How do I decide my take profits? That's a much more, I don't want to say advanced, but there's a few different things you have to take into account at that point, like, you know, the type of trade. If it's an SFP and it's a long, I'm going to be taking profits rather aggressively. I'm much more aggressive on taking profits on my longs, at least for myself, okay? Yeah, and I mean, if you want to learn more stuff like that, because I don't think, personally, I don't think it's really out there. I mean, you've got this channel here, by the way. If you want to learn more stuff like that, then you've got like the crew. So now I'll show you that in a second. But you've got this potential like lower high, lower. I don't like parallel channels like that. I'm much more a fan. Let me just delete all this. Whoops, keep that one. No, not that one. Yep, those two. I'm much more an advocate of actual like sideways channels rather than like upward sloping, if that's what you want to call it. These are like much better in my opinion, because you've got much more technical, in my opinion, technical levels that I'm taking off of, and much more better reasoning. Yeah, I'm getting a call. 1 second, let me just. Okay. Yeah, so like these give much more technical levels, and the same way. So the reason I've just explained to you a lot about the inefficiencies is so you understand what I'm talking about on the higher time frame, right? Look at the 30-minute here. What I said to you before, the second you get above this candle and you see the one massive candle back up, if you come into this and you hold that, you're coming back up to this, like, I don't want to say guaranteed, unless you do a failed auction or SFP, like unless you do this, like it can drop the same way it could have done down here. But if it does this and like holds above, like candle closes, you see the volume coming in, which I teach on this, on the volume charts in detail video, then you know you can expect price to really come up, hold above, and push up and clear all these inefficiencies. The same way here, I'd expect to do this, come up, hit this first one, maybe a potential bit of resistance, maybe a bit of a drop, rally up again, and look at this, another straight form of inefficiencies, comes straight back up into that MPOC at 23,800. Bear with me one moment, everyone. So obviously, if anyone's interested in this, right? Personally, stuff like this, I'd recommend coming over to tauruscrypto.com. You can't see it there. It's Taurus Crypto, that's how you spell it, .com. Then you can click on the crew section, and then we do like live trading rooms. Live trading rooms daily. I mean, I've got my videos, live trade examples that I continuously shed out. My voice channel, not my voice channel, like my Discord channel, where I give you updates continuously. And then if you want even further stuff, so you got like the 1 month stuff, then you got like the mentoring if you wish. Where you can do like one-to-one sessions or private mentorship with myself. Just click on that and then select your staff which you wish. I'll say that, yeah. But be careful on those. I ain't got too much time lately. And of course, it'd be greatly appreciated if you can actually come into the Twitter myself. You haven't seen myself here, but at luxury with an extra Y. Be sure to do that, and get your questions in. Follow. I actually gave away someone, I think it was last week or something, I gave away like a 3-month EXO membership. So a few things, you know, I might give away from the Twitter if you follow me, like DMs, discussions. I'm all for it, because I do like this. It's greatly appreciated, okay? Greatly appreciated. Let's get back to the trading, because that's what you're here for. Essentially, at the end of the day, you sit on this, you come to this stream because you're interested in either you have like an insane passion for the charts, option 1, or, right, scenario 2, which is more likely, you want to know how to make money. Like that is it. You're not really here for anything else, and if you're here for anything else, then I don't know. You're not really gonna get stuff like that from me. Really, really simply, I'm here to help you make money. End of the day, and that's what I'm talking about this. Because if you have something like this, like I was saying before, like let's just imagine that trade I discussed to you there before, right? So that change in market structure trade up here, and you took something like this. And I want to imagine you don't get the perfect entry, because nothing in this world is perfect. You know, let's imagine you don't enter at the wick high here. You enter probably down here, right? And you're still targeting the same levels, right? You're hitting take profit one minimum. You're hitting take profit one, and you've got to be looking at like different levels of interest. I mean, look at it, just dropped much harder in the end towards the lows. But like, let's say you risked, I don't know, 10. Let's say you risked $1,000 in simple terms. You're making $2,000-3,000 at least, yeah. At least you're making $2,000-3,000. That's it. And that's what I mean by like teaching you that method. You know where you're wrong. If you're wrong, you're losing $1,000. If you're right, you're making 2,000-3,000. It's worth a risk in my opinion. If you know how you're calculating your position size, yeah. I really do recommend that. That's a good question, Jerome. I didn't know how to TP at that exact low, but you don't need to TP at the exact dollar low. What you need to do is learn to TP on potential signs of strength, even on a lower time frame. So for example, I just pulled this here saying that, oh, you're going to make profit at the low. You're not taking profit at the dollar low. I'm marketing. So I'm never going to just set my limit orders and hope for a rejection, because I learned doing that in the past. I fucked myself. In simple terms, I completely fucked myself. But when I'm marketing in and limiting out, I don't mind marketing in. That's fine. But when I'm coming out, I don't really care, because take profit getting hit its limit. Like, look for a technical level and take profit there. Let's have a look. So like, let's just, my first thought probably would have been like take profit at the point of control. So you bounce at the point of control. So I guess in this scenario, like 100%, I would have, without a doubt, taken profits at the point of control. And now what I do that is setting limit orders through my, my broker or whatever, literally all on the point of control. Again, in this scenario, you got in roughly at the low, but sometimes it will do this. I still would have taken profits at that point of control. It's a valid take profit region, yeah, if that makes sense. Completely valid take profit region. I suggest you do that, okay? So stuff like that, point of controls, simple SR levels, inefficiencies. You can see here, look, like straight up, you're going to come straight through this the second you lose this level, straight back down, right? If your TP gets front run, that's a good question. Well, let's say this. Let's say, for example, we didn't hit the point of control, right? Let's just imagine this. So let's imagine you want to take profit here, right? This is your level. You've entered a short up here. There's this random line, and price is coming down, and it does this. You don't hit your TP, and it starts to do this. Well, at that point there, I'm already taking profits. Why? Because you're changing market structure already. So you've missed your level. And you're like, okay, well, looking at the volume chart as well, you can decipher, okay, is there some strength coming into the market? The answer is like, okay, you've changed the market structure, you've seen volume, you've seen some trap traders down here, and you've changed the trend. This is going to be like, I'm going to take profit on here now rather than waiting for lower. If it does come lower, great. I still got potential take profit region down there. But other than that, I take my first profit, I move my stop loss to entry, and now I'm in a scenario where I cannot lose money. I can only make more money. Like, I've made money, I can either make more money or make nothing. That's it. So you've made money, and that's the way you should treat it. Treat it like a video game. I want to see those W's on the Call of Duty kill streak. That's all I want to see. I want to have the highest KD in the game. That is it. That's the mindset you want to have, is to win consecutively. Have that winner's mindset. And I can't have that winner's mindset if I'm sitting here not taking profit on signs of strength and being oblivious to the idea that market can completely move up and I can be wrong. You have to be open to the idea that you're wrong. Otherwise, you can definitely lose money. Okay, that is so crucial. Even for myself. Well, this is the thing. If it changes market structure and reverses, how can you limit out? So let's say here, lower high, lower high, lower high, every single time. At this point, when you've seen it make the higher high, right? This is the way I would have done it in simple terms. So boom, 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 boom. You'll see it. And I talk about how to track these lower highs every single time, track the structure. If you see this, right, and you see it move up, that point, that instant moment there, thinking, okay, I'm going to limit now my take profits here, rather than even waiting. Option 2 is you do get out at market. You can take some profit at market if you wish. I personally don't. It's quite rare you'll just see it do that. I would just set my limit, boom, boom, boom. If it does that, and then it will start going up because you've identified that trend change. Yeah. that's crucial. Identifying the trend change, setting TPs on the limit, that type of stuff, okay, is really, really crucial. Um, if that makes sense, I don't know. I mean, again, I'm only doing it this time because this is like, I don't really trade end session. I might trade Asia, but most of the time I don't. I'm much more just trading London, New York mini. Uh, unless it's moving very fast, yeah. And there's obviously losses you're going to take, and you need to realize as well when you take losses. Do we look at that move up you got in the end? Like you got that SFP, and you're targeting the highs. The move into the inefficiencies. I wouldn't call it a straight up SFP. That. Let's have a look here. I wouldn't say anything significant down here would warrant me to take a trade straight away. Yeah, I think what's really crucial is you have this idea of getting W's in the book. How are you going to do that? Well, by make sure you're limiting your losses, and every single win you make, you try and guarantee yourself a win every time. Okay, I really suggest that. Yeah, like obviously, there's actually 53 likes. Try push that to 60. Push that to 60. That'll be great to see. Doesn't do anything for me, to be honest, but I just want to see it get 60. Why not? I think this is it though. I think that mindset of, I think sometimes if you're on a mad losing streak now, take some time away, go back, restructure it, and go back to the basics. Zero, take a $10 account, and like it's obviously the basic concept. I'll repeat it because everyone's aware of it, but I'll talk about it anyway quickly. Thank you for the 60 likes, by the way. It means nothing to me, but the mindset of God, I've lost it. If you can turn $10 into $20, 10 times, do it 10 times, 10 to 20, 10 to 20, like just repeat it 10 times. If you can do that, or like even 50 to 100, just so it's not extremely low, so it's actually money which can play with your emotions. If you can do that 10 times, then you can just switch over the exact same methodology and apply that to 500,000 to a million. There's absolutely no way in hell you couldn't do that at that point. That's what I would say there. And the way you do that is by tracking, journaling your trades. Understand where you're wrong. The reason I said earlier I don't trade VWAP is because I got a lower success rate when trading VWAP. That's myself personally. I do still win certain trades with VWAP. I just don't have it as a high win rate as I should do compared to other things. Exactly, Jerome. You're completely right there. The mentality is completely different. And that's why you have to go through different types of, I guess, don't go straight to 500K, but like start training yourself up. If you have, no, the thing is, I take that completely back. Because if you're trading with $10, right, and you got 500K, right, because your risk management, your confidence in your trade based upon your journaling is going to be so there that there's not going to be any fucking need to even doubt yourself. You wouldn't doubt yourself. I'm telling you now, you won't doubt yourself. If you've seen yourself do it from 10 to 20, 10 to 20, 10 to 20, every single time on a consistent basis, you're not going to doubt yourself. I'm telling you now, you're not going to doubt yourself, even with those larger numbers. I'm telling you now, if you stick to the same methodology, you won't doubt yourself, because okay, I've done this 10 times in the past before and 9 times it's won. Why am I scared of doing it now? You know what I mean? So that's my view. Thank you for the 60 likes as well. I said that before going on a tangent. Are there any questions? I mean, there's some people asking some great questions in the chat. Good to get a conversation going. Purely about making money, the correct mindset, technical analysis. I think that's That's the only reason I'm here. And if there's no other questions, etc., and maybe I come up like a few minutes of things to share. If there's nothing else to really discuss, I'll wrap it up. But I'm here for a few more questions, maybe 10 minutes, 15 minutes max. So go for it. And if you're not already, then like, I would recommend you lot just go join the Discord anyway. Just join the Taurus Crypto Discord, and you'll see there's a few of informations in there, testimonials, etc. Regarding a lot of stuff. I mean, I think that's really crucial. Is that you actually see what we're about, because I think there's a lot of different people out there which will show you like false hopes in this game. I'm telling you now. I was thinking about this. I don't even mind saying it. Just openly minded. Like, the more people that watch, I don't get Crypto, the Moon. The more people that watch that, in my eyes, look, I don't want to sound harsh. In my eyes, the better. Not because of them, because they're gonna make money off them. The affiliate links, Rare Tattoo, all that stuff, right? But in terms of, trading, it's just removed. The knowledge there isn't so negligible. It's so non-existent, right? That those people that are trading, they're basically the people that are going to be the trap traders for me. They're generating that liquidity where they can push the market and give me better trades. That is why I'm so. Thank you to those people, right? But obviously, if you're here, then I guess you're kind of lucky to some extent. Yeah, is it possible to be profitable without learning how to read order flow? I would say yes. Yes, I would say you are. Definitely. But you have to know the right things to use. I mean, I speak to a few traders all the time, people in the top 100 of Bybit, right? And that's the question you need to ask yourself. Are you on the Bybit leaderboard even? And like the question from that point is, okay, there are people on there as well. They don't even trade with like order flow, some of them. Like, it's completely possible. But for myself, the way I've just learned to trade with it and give it me the advantage. You don't completely 100% need it, but it's better to know it and not use it than not know it and not have it. Have it and not know it, essentially. That's what I meant. No, I don't trade previous month value area low, previous month value area high. I'm much more, attracted to fixed range pools, like custom fixed range pools, identifying the ranges myself. For example, boom, eyes are attracted here from this point here to this point here in the chart. You've got a range, point of control, value area high on the weekly level. Down here, you've got a low with potential inefficiency to hit. So, like, I would assume not much resistance there. But I personally don't do that. So yes. Let's go over this. I'll go with the PA. Don't worry before I leave. But yeah, I don't use previous. I'm much more content using these ones. I do use previous day value area high and low. I think they're much better for like the day trades. The same way as today, like you come down to previous day low for the SFP, previous day high for the SFP. And this is something else to talk about. A little bit of tips for you all. Right, if you see something like this, okay, where people, I've seen books, or not even books, people, gurus, discuss like, I'm going to short a double top. Look, you can be right, but like, unless I'm out of my fucking mind, I'm not, I'm expecting this to be revisited. Like, you've got a double top with like two levels exactly the same height on a rounded number, 21,500. Bybit liquidity, I would definitely expect it to be taken out. And I was saying this within this morning's London trade room that we did within the crew. Sorry, just someone was DMing me there, and it's like, look, you get the dump, and this was the one I was discussing. Like, when you see something like this double top, I'm expecting it to be revisited. You take a long, and you take a short. Well, you take the long, which is like pulling back. Any pullback from this point onwards, you're like, I'm longing, I'm longing, I'm longing, I'm longing. Find the sensible place to do it, but where you see market exchange or something. But it's like, this is like not definitely going to be taken, but the probabilities would show it's going to get taken. And I'm always for trading with the probabilities. If there's look, ask yourself the question, right? If there's a 80% chance of you winning a trade, are you going to take it? Well, I'm going to say yeah, because there's a 20% chance, and over a period of time, you're going to, you're going to make money over a period of time. It's like a casino. Casino has around a 51, I think it's 51%. You look can tell me more. 52% maybe over the player, which means over an extended period of time, they're going to make money on anything, because they got even that slight win rate. It's the exact same with trading, but we can choose which one we play. 80% win rate, I'm taking that trade, because I know there's an 80% chance you basically come back and take out this at least. You do SFP the high, drop again. You know what I mean? So I'll say that along this, like, let's not forget about the sessions, right? I discussed it with plenty of people, and it's the same thing I was discussing before, but I went over yesterday actually night. I won't cover it too much here actually because it's for the crew, but I went over in extensive detail, like the way I use this template, the way the day trades you can take off this template, how it's conveyed, the new delta divergences. I say new. Don't get it into your head that these are gonna like the be all and end all of trading. They're not gonna change your winning. If you're shit at trading, you're gonna still be shit after you add these. I'll tell you that now. It's literally just, I guess, if you understand how you're trading, the benefits use case of it, which I go over, then like, yeah, like you can look into it. But it's not gonna be like you got a 10% win rate. It's not gonna make you an 80% win rate. It's not gonna change anything. You're probably gonna still have 10% or less even, right? You have to understand how to use this, how to set it up. It doesn't change the win rate. It's just a tool which can impact your thought process, and that thought process is gonna eventually impact you to take a trade. Yeah, really crucial. Yeah, the CVD delta divergence is now live. You can look it up. Yeah, the CVD divergence is live. I mean, I'm just thinking to myself like what I would have want to hear when I was like learning in this, because I've had that mentality that, oh, this new thing's gonna help me out. Pump it. Yeah, I'm just thinking to myself like what would I have want to heard when I'm like learning this, and I'm hopefully I've gone through that with you all. More than, the idea of not aiming to long every dollar high and dollar low, because I don't think that's going to occur. Okay. That type. No, I don't use Crypto Fusion, but what was I saying? Yeah, like what I wanted to hear, like not aiming to long every dollar high, dollar low, don't work. Personally, I don't set limits. I'm only in that market after I see the reaction. It just makes sense to it makes sense to actually trade after you've seen a reaction rather than hoping, because if I'm setting limits, I'm hoping I see a reaction. I'm not waiting. Think about that. Do you want to hope, or do you want hope, or do you want a greater guarantee that you're going to win? That's what I would say to you, if I'm honest. And that's what you're waiting for when you're looking at a reaction. Okay. Like I said before, whoops, wrong thing. Bit of an intro. If you're new here, of course, be sure to follow Luxury on Twitter with an extra Y. That's me. just the FYI. Again, there's like a few people talking about me teaching them here, so like go and read that if you wish. It's like one of the pinned tweets. And of course, if you wish any of this stuff, then you can go to tauruscrypto.com, check it out. The crew, live trading rooms, all of that stuff there. And if you want, the mentoring's also there. Like I said before, and go for it if you wish. If there's spaces and stuff like that, I think it's good, you know. And select the staff's name, whoever you want, luxury, whoever you want. So yeah, a few things to discuss there, but follow me on Twitter at luxury with an extra Y on the end. Let's get me to 1,000 followers. That'd be great to see. That'd be really cool to see. But yeah, not too much on that. And let's go back. Could you talk about windows where most of the high time windows? Oh yeah, I would say New York. So not regular New York, but around like 12 o'clock UK time onwards. Even like being London session beginning's been quite good lately, and also 5 o'clock on a Monday and Wednesday UK time. I believe it's 5 o'clock. It might, 5 o'clock on Wednesdays. You know, like this one here, mini. 6 o'clock British Standard Time, so UK time, 5 o'clock UTC. But look at this SFP at the highs, and you know you're rejecting. What did you see in the order flow at the top there? Whoa, value area right at the peak. I discussed this before, but what does the value area tell you? Now, let's break it down into simple terms here. What is a value area? A value area is where the most volume is, right? If the most volume is trapped in the high of a candle, I say trapped because we're no longer there, like moved up and it moves straight back down, so you're no longer there. You've trapped a lot of delta in that candle, whether it be new longs or not, people getting stopped out. That's not typical because you want to be seeing volume follow a move. You see volume into a move, into a move, into a move. Yep, you're staying up there. Oh wait, you're down, and the volume's all the way up there still. That's a short trade if you're seeing an SFP. I mean, I'm sitting here not trading it because yeah, I personally don't think it's the right environment to be trading, but also I'm also streaming. Look at that, high, low, rejection, and now you have to target the lows again or this range. Yep, value. Let me look at it. It's just like a very tight. It's a very tight range. I wouldn't trade this, but yeah. And when I say wait for reaction, I mean there's multiple ways I'm looking at it. Not just a change in market structure, but also what I just discussed there. For example, you know, like the SFP type trades. I discussed that in a bit more detail. You know, like how to trade them, because you have to be much more aggressive on it. You can't really be waiting for an SFP and like waiting for confirmation. You just see it. You have to be there and enter. So, yeah. Wow, it is warm in my bedroom. So I hope that's useful. I mean, like, just as like I'm interested in chat. Like, is this something of use? This call that I've done today, or is there is this something? Of course, you know, I don't know. Is this something new to that it's new to you? I don't know. Discuss what are your thoughts been on the stream so far. I'm interested to hear your feedback because it's my first YouTube stream. Obviously, I do it on Twitch as well. Look at the drop. It's just extremely technical. Extremely technical. It's like, yeah, what do you think? Like, talk to me about, you know, let's just discuss in chat. If I'd taken this SFP, where would I TP? Because first thing you got to take into account is essentially like this is a very small range. So like your TP can't be like that. Like, can't be like the point of control, and like it just doesn't work. It'd have to be the lows here. I would have TP'd the low. Personally, I would have TP'd the low. Obviously, you can. The other way would have been like the point of control value or low, but because basically the SFP was like so large, right? You got something like this with a soft stop. Doing this, like look at the risk to reward. It's not insane. Like I prefer to maybe wait towards the lows, which gives it a bit better SF, you know, risk to reward. Yeah. That's what I mean. Like, I mean, Mike, that's very nice to hear, mate. I appreciate it. I mean, I'm actually around quite a bit. I'm around every day in the Discord. So if you want to join the Discord, like, uh, um, you know, join the Discord, and I'm in there already. Join the crew, whatever, if you want. It's up to you. Or if you want, like, anyone wants like discussion on like trading themselves, within like the mentoring and the one-to-ones. Uh, what was I saying? Yeah, like within that, I teach like hedging. Like hedging is like the number one thing that like I've realized when I'm talking to people. Like I'm gonna tell you my perspective, right? Like look at it from my perspective. I'm gonna tell you my kind of perspective. I'm 20 years old, and there's people who I'm teaching who are like massive business owners, doing the mentoring one-on-ones, whatever, right? And I'm teaching about hedging, and it's like they're seeing not just trading from a complete different perspective, but their whole portfolio management, their outside business as a whole, everything, because hedging is so ridiculously valuable. The way I teach it, at least, as well, is I personally think it's almost like if you understand it to the best ability, like that's what made me from making money while trading to making bank while trading, being consistent while trading. You know, that is what changed it for me. Yeah, that is what really changed it for me. The hedging. So yeah, I hope you lot enjoyed this. I'm gonna wrap it up here by saying, yeah, please be sure to follow the Twitter at Luxury with an extra Y. It's greatly appreciated. Also, ExoCharts Discord, Taurus Crypto Discord, uh, go for it. And also TaurusCrypto.com, the crew, the mentoring, all active now. I hope you lot enjoyed. And I'll catch you lot later. Bye.